Lemmy, his enthronement as an icon of rock happened a while. I'm not going to read this. I'm just going to talk about Lemmy. Is that better? Everybody knows Lemmy, just like everybody knows Ronnie. I'll tell you a quick story. Of course, it was just the year anniversary since we lost Lem. And I did a special on my radio show. I dedicated the whole show to him. And we had some calls from people, and Mikkey D actually was nice enough to call in from his vacation. And we talked about Lem, but most importantly, I wanted to talk to fans, like I was and like many people were, about their take on Motörhead and their take on Lemmy and how he's missed. And we had this mix of both artists that loved Lemmy and also fans that called in and loved Lemmy. And I also told stories about Lemmy. And the one word that came up that I found myself saying more than anything else, and every caller and every artist was saying more than anything else, the one single word we heard more than anything, I didn't realize we were all saying it until the very end of the radio show, was the word real. And if you think about it, all the things that you could say about Lemmy, real is one of the greatest compliments you could give the guy, because he was as authentic and as real as it got. And it's the truth. I mean, people used to say to me all the time, hey, I'm going to LA, how can I meet Lemmy? And I would say, well, look at the Motörhead touring schedule, and if they're not on tour, just go to the Rainbow by the video game at around 11 o'clock at night, and he'll be sitting there. Oh, that's really what he does? Yeah, it's not an act. That's what he does. And sure enough, that person would email me back and say, I went and he was there. And he took a picture with me, no problem, after he got finished playing the round of the game that he was on. So it's real to the core. You know, we have artists that put on a stage outfit or a stage getup. Lemmy didn't have to do that. Was Lemmy. You know, there was none of that. I mean, one time I was sitting in his dressing room, he was playing PNC in Jersey, and I'm sitting in his room, and he's mixing a Jack and Coke like Lemmy does. And getting ready to walk to the stage, and he goes, puts the bass on and plays. There was no air of anything. There was no preamble. There was no nothing. What you saw is what you got. One time I interviewed Lem for TV. I think it was around 2006, even before that metal show, but it was for VH1 Classic at the time. And the one thing I hated the most about TV, and that I hate to this day, that I always hated, is waking up early for anything, right? But back then in TV, they used to make me do these shoots at like 8 in the morning or something. I was barely awake. So the day they booked Lemmy to shoot with me, I was thrilled, because not only was I going to be talking to Lemmy, but I knew I wasn't going to have to get there at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'll never forget, my producer called me and said, so Ed, we have Mr. Kilmister coming tomorrow, and he's requested a call time of 5 p.m.? And I was like, my man. And then they said to me, we've never had this request before, but he requested a large bottle of Jack Daniels and a bucket of ice in the green room. He knows we're just doing an interview, right? I said, yes, he knows. He's Lemmy, get it. Sure enough, 5 o'clock, he walks in, stripper on each arm, grabs the bottle of Jack, goes in the room. He didn't come out till 7:30. We shot the interview at 8 o'clock at night. That was Lemmy. That's real rock and roll. That's the real deal, as real as it gets.